If you've been around LA in the past few years, you've most likely encountered these plastic ballers along bike lanes, boulevards, and walkways. I have to give LA Dot some credit because in recent years they have made substantial strides in making streets safer for people and cyclists. Even though progress is slow and grueling, it is being made. But it's not to the extent that even the city planned for. In 2015, former Mayor Eric Garcetti unveiled LA's Vision Zero program, which sought to eliminate traffic deaths in Los Angeles over the course of 10 years. But we're 8 years into the program and traffic deaths have only been rising. While they're no doubt a step in the right direction, these plastic tubes signify the larger problem with the Los Angeles government's views on transportation infrastructure and where they weigh the value of citizens' lives in relation to the condition of private automobiles. Called K71s, these guys are obviously a lot cheaper than their steel counterparts, but provide a fraction of the protection. From my own experience, biking alongside plastic posts does feel safer than just a painted line, but at the same time, it's not very reassuring to know that at any point a driver could barrel over one of these and sustain little to no damage to their car. And that's what it comes down to. The city wants to save money, but they also don't want to bear the complaints from vehicle owners experiencing the growing pains of slower driving. Because nothing slows down drivers more than a fear of dinking a door or clipping a side mirror. But especially since people have been buying bigger and heavier vehicles, these plastic suggestions become less and less effective. And it doesn't help that it's not hard to find plastic corpses all over the city. Just another reminder how unprotected we are against people going 45 miles per hour on a residential street. While LA Dot has done a commendable job installing these K71s in residential intersections, it's a shame that they can't shell out a little more to protect higher risk areas, like the crosswalks surrounding schools or intersections with a history of traffic violence. Of course, I don't blame the individual workers or the agencies in charge of distributing these things around town, but it's difficult to reconcile with the fact that our city throws a nearly infinite supply of capital toward highway maintenance and general car dependency instead of addressing the increasing number of people killed by cars. Another issue with the city's current perfunctory implementation is that those opposing this type of infrastructure can point to the ineffective changes to our streets as evidence that this sort of effort is a waste of the city's time and resources. And it's not like actual alternatives don't exist. There are obviously steel bollards, which you can see all over the place around real cities, but I don't even see a reason why the city couldn't take note of Santa Monica's curb paving vehicles that can create miles of protected bike lanes in a single day. So, while the city has on paper installed quite a bit of safe street infrastructure, they've had to cut a lot of corners in order to make changes at their desired breadth. As a result, we're left with half-baked safety measures that prioritize quantity over quality, which may serve as a solid foundation on which the city can build, but also barely make our streets a safer place to walk and ride. And on top of that, it's not like we don't know what safe streets actually look like. There's a reason traffic deaths are on the rise, and a big part of it is because of the failure of our communities and elected officials to put in the effort and the cash to transform our public spaces. About 10 years ago, the city of Lancaster completely changed their eponymous boulevard from a desolate strode into something that actually resembles a livable city street. And, unsurprisingly, business thrived and car-related injuries dropped. I respect that LA Dot is doing something to address the problem, but funneling money into vehicle infrastructure and skimming a little off the top for pieces of plastic is simply not enough. And it's not like the city doesn't know all this. The website for LA Dot's Livable Streets program itself cites a bunch of statistics pertaining to vehicle violence. But still, these tubes of plastic car fodder are only a band-aid on LA's larger car problem, and they're a shitty one at that.